Independent, local, produced by Homeslice.
So, what is the most distinct memory you have where you saw someone else doing music? Who was it, and what do you remember vividly feeling in that moment?
The first time I ever played with Ozzy Osbourne,
Oh my God.
1981, literally before I got the gig, that thanks to Randy Rhoads, who I had already played with him in Quiet Riot back in 1978. Basically, I went from being a total unknown at the lowest point of my life or career-wise, having my epiphany and putting everything in God's hands.
That's cool.
And within a few days of that experience, I get the phone call to audition to join Ozzy. This is April 1981,
Wow.
and then I'll never forget the first show. It felt like a roller coaster ride because
Yeah.
there's usually the intro music and the lights go down. And back in 1981, people used big lighters
Yeah.
to light them up. The arena was filled with these big lighters, and it looked like I just entered a galaxy. I was not on planet Earth anymore. And we used to make our entrance, like Randy and I, we used to be behind our amplifiers.
Yeah.
And we looked at each other, we gave the thumbs up because, this was his and my first American tour. And it was just such a magical moment. I'll never forget it.
I had the opportunity to do hair for Lizzie Hale for the last ever Ozzy Osbourne show. How
Yes.
were you able to be there for that event?
Oh, yes. Yes, I
Cool.
got the invite October of 2024, prior to July 5th of 2025. A text from Tom Morello, who was the music director for both groups. That's another moment I'll never forget because it was like I opened up my text. I was somewhere in Idaho, playing at a casino with Quiet Riot. I couldn't breathe reading that I'm invited to this was supposed to be the last show
Yeah.
of both Ozzy and Black Sabbath and asking me if I was available.
And
And
you're
it was
like,
like
I'll find a way. Yeah.
my thumbs cannot go fast enough. So it was just a magical event. The first thing that went through my head was like, oh my God, now I get to have the opportunity to thank Ozzy and Sharon for everything they did for my career. My whole thing started 45 years ago, playing with Ozzy, thanks to Randy Rhoads.
Mhm.
But then they moved back to England, and I hadn't seen him in years.
Oh,
So
wow.
this gave me the opportunity to be able to get together with him and thank him.
And what was it like when you first started playing with Quiet Riot?
The band that started in the 70s
Mhm.
that I joined in 1978, that had Randy Rhoads and Kevin DuBrow when I joined, that was like the first Quiet Riot. And then Randy in 1979 joined Ozzy, and the name Quiet Riot ceased to exist completely. The band had released 2 albums in Japan, but locally in Los Angeles, promoters did not care because our music was not getting played on the radio. There was no billboard positioning, nothing. We were like, you guys got a record in Japan? Well, we don't care. And then after Randy's passing in 1982, I lost all the joy of making music. It's the same set list, except everything, the same clothes, but Randy wasn't there anymore, and it was never the same. I did not know how to deal with trauma,
Right.
post-traumatic syndrome,
Yeah.
being there at the crash when it happened. I became robotic. I just lost the joy. I was just surviving the show, the moments. I did my commitments to the Speak of the Devil album, recorded them live, got on the plane, went back home to LA, and had to make the toughest decision I've ever made in my career, which was to leave one of the biggest bands in the world, the people that treated me like their own family from day one when I joined the band, Ozzy and Sharon. They were so incredibly generous and kind with me. Yeah. And so I left. That was the toughest call I've ever made. And so when I went back, the band was still called Dubrow. And I told Kevin, listen, I don't want to, I love playing with you guys, but I want to be in a band. I don't want to be in your band. I want to be in a band. No problem. You and I, we were in Quiet Riot together, so we'll just call it Quiet Riot again.
Did you feel like that was a way to honor him?
If you read the back of the album cover, the album is dedicated to his memory from the first pressing.
When you go out on stage and you're performing for everybody, and with you guys getting ready to perform again, what is your favorite?
Well, there's a moment. See, I always get on stage about 10 or 15 minutes before just to plug plug in. Being in Quiet Riot is it's a continuation of everything that I first experienced almost 50 years ago. Because I plug in into the consciousness that the band had back then, because I am the only musician who ever got to play with Randy Rhoads in both Quiet Riot and Ozzy Osbourne. And when you look at Randy on stage in 1981, well, 2 years prior to that, he was rejected by the industry in Los Angeles. Or were very short-sighted about what's going on around in the world. Back then, they only knew what was in their backyard. At that time in '79, when Randy left to join Ozzy, new wave and punk were the flavor of the day, and record company was telling us that what we were doing was dinosaur music.
Oh, that's crazy to think of, because it ended up becoming such a important puzzle piece to music in general.
We started to have to play further from the Strip, Sunset Strip, because originally that's where the band played. But when new wave and punk bands started coming in, that's who promoters locally were booking in the club. So we started going further away into the suburbs of Los Angeles, which meant that our teen-based fan club could not come to the shows. So we went from playing packed houses at the Starwood to now we got playing for 10 or 15 fans that could actually get their parents to drive them to some club in Pasadena or Glendale or whatever.
Well, and that was going to be another one of my questions. Was obviously a lot of people that are newer in the industry that are touring, and there's a lot of extra pressures. A lot of people are talking about how they're struggling with mental health on top of it, on top of the tour schedule, right? So how are you combating the mental health?
Besides the crash where Randy died, because the plane hit the bus.
Oh, it
That's
did?
Yeah, it crashed into the bus. It hit the bus, and then it kept spinning and crashed. The trauma of that. I did not know how to deal with PTSD back then. I did not realize about the importance of all of us left behind to celebrate the legacy of those who are no longer with us, which is what I do with Quiet Riot. What we do as a band, personally, is to celebrate. It's a celebration of their memory and the legacy that they left behind. Honor them. But I needed to find the joy of making music. Outside of that, and also what really helped me deal with it was found a spiritual center, my own spiritual center. I had made peace with God that as long as my fingers kept moving, I was going to keep playing, because my relationship with God is more important than anything else.
How many more shows are you booked for the rest of this tour season?
I believe that bands from Nashville do the same thing like we do. We just go out on the weekends.
Cool. Weekend warriors, they call them.
Yeah, but which allows me to be home. Yeah, I've been married for over 42 years, and I've been with my wife for 45. We met in 1981. So I need to be home. I want to be home. I need to be home.
Wait, which bass guitar brand are you currently rocking?
Oh, they're beautiful. I at a company called Brubaker. They're out of Baltimore, Maryland, and I started playing them like a couple of years ago. I was at the NAMM show. No agenda of finding a new company to work with, because I have so many, and I wasn't really looking for anything new. And I just happened to walk by the booth, and I heard it.
Oh, you heard it, and you're like, what?
Yes, I'm going. What? Yeah, because it sounded different from all the other basses in the.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did it translate well? And obviously, because you're still playing it 2 years later, right?
I'm still playing it. It's kind of like.
was like,
It's like putting on a glove that is just second skin.
which day is it that you're playing Sturgis?
Monday.
Oh my gosh, it's coming up.
Monday.
Are you
Yeah.
getting excited to come out and see everybody?
I've always said it's become a tradition for us to play Sturgis. So I always look forward to it. It's iconic.
Is there anything else that you want to share with the reach that we have that you think is important for everybody to know or that you want to share?
Uh, be good to each other.
Okay.
Keep the faith, be good to each other, and when things get out of your hands, just leave it to God's will. That's all we got. Don't fight it. Yeah, don't fight your destiny.
Oh.